YouTube, how's it going? Welcome back, or welcome to Trip Boomer's Tech-Bodge Emporium. I am Trip Boomer. In this one, a little bit different. We're just gonna have a look at something, a game that I've literally grown up with, for the last decade. It's been part of most of our lives. They've released an enhanced version, that's GTA5. So we're gonna have a look at it. I'm gonna do a side by side with the legacy version. I have some thoughts, so we'll discuss the thoughts over the top of the game footage. It's going to be a little bit different, this one. I'm going to do a side by side. What I'll do is I'll run through all the settings on both of them, how I've got them set up. Now, the legacy version, I literally have got the settings set up to how I play the game. And the enhanced version, I've gone in, I've turned some stuff up. I'm not necessarily saying that that's how I would play the game, but it definitely is close to. I would say there are some limitations to the RT of the 3060 I've got in here. Unfortunately, that's all I can work off, so there is some noise to the reflections on the vehicle. But I don't know whether that's down to just how the game is RT in the reflections, or if it's down to me just being limited by 26 second gen RT cores. So, mileage may vary. However, I will go through the settings on both sides so you can see what we're running, and then we'll do a side by side. I tried to keep the run as solid and the same as possible. However, on the legacy run, as we were coming to the back end of the full run around the city, I ran into a online user who decided to blow me up and completely screw the run. I then had to go back, get the car, and then come back. And it just kind of screwed everything up. I forgot which way I was going and all sorts. So for the first half, they're somewhat side by side, but after that, they're similar to each other. We've got some day run, we've got some night run. I'm going to stay in it with you, and we'll discuss what I'm thinking as we're watching the gameplay. That being said, should we get into it? Right, let's do it. Okay guys, over on the enhanced version here, we are using borderless full screen, 1440p, 165Hz, reflexes on and boosted, ray traces on full ray tracing. We're using DLSS quality, the sharpness, I'll be honest with you, I could probably pull it down a little. Risk it for a biscuit. Shaders all very high. Everything's pretty much high except for lighting, reflections and shadows. I set them to normal. I call this optimizing for RT, because if I've got ray tracing doing this, why do I need raster doing it as well? And we gain a bit of performance back as well. Post effects is set to normal because I don't like all the bloom and stuff, and that's pretty much it really. Everything else is maxed out. Right, so shall we have a look how they get on? I'm going to just pass you over onto the legacy version first, so we can have a look at the settings there, and then yes, we'll have a look how it gets on. Right, okay guys, we are over on legacy mode. So I've got to be full screen on this so that I get the 165Hz refresh rate, but with 1440p, we're using MSAA ×2. Everything else is off. No, fuck off with your V-Sync. I hate that shit, man. Right, so yeah, V-Sync is off. Population, full population, textures, everything is maxed out. Basically, everything is just maxed out. The only thing that isn't maxed out is I've got the post effects as normal because I don't like all the bloom, and there's grass quality is at very high, same as I did on the new one, because I don't like the ultra quality grass. I don't like the way it looks. And over on advanced graphics, we've got extended distance scaling, that's maxed out, long shadows, high resolution shadows, high detail streaming while flying. Basically everything is maxed out at 1440p with MSAA ×2. So no upscaling over this side. Should we see how they get on together? What I'm going to do is I'm going to split the screen. That's why if you have a look at the top, the metrics are over to one side. I'm going to split the screen, and I'll be able to show both running at the same time then. Okay, right, should we get started? Okay guys, so I usually run my GPU with an overclock, but I wanted to throw it onto vanilla clocks so you guys had a reference to go off. Yeah, so I did try and keep the runs as close to each other as possible. Both sides are handling it really well. As you can see, we keep the frame rates somewhat high with the optimized settings for the RT. The reflections, as I said, the reflections in the car can be a little bit noisy on the enhanced version. I think, like I said, that's more down to a limitation of me having Gen 2 RT cores and only 26 of them. But that will become more prevalent at the end of the video. I'll show you with a different car where it stands out a bit more. Other than that, both games play really well. Obviously the legacy version is at a higher frame rate and is running smoother at a slightly lower latency as well. But in a game like this, that doesn't matter too much. I wouldn't pay too much attention to the 1% lows over on the enhanced version, because I forgot to reset them as I'm going into the game, so it still has the sort of 60 FPS from the menu that it's fighting with on the average in the 1% lows. I forgot to reset them. I'm pretty sure I don't reset them. Over on the legacy side, I actually reset them, so they should be about right. But as I said, they're both playing well. As you can see, we do get voltage limitations on both cards, and these are at vanilla clocks. But I think that's more down to the fact that my modded cooling solution on this card is redonkulous for stock clocks. As you can see, it's barely cracking 50 degrees. So the card wants to push harder, but the voltage won't let it, and neither will the curve. So yeah, it behaves a little bit better with an overclock. It's not a massive change though, in terms of FPS. It's more sort of 1% lows come up tighter, stuff like that. As you can see, we're coming around the outside of the map now. I'm going to take a drive around, a bit of daytime driving. Unfortunately, as I said, it's one of those things. It was difficult for me to get two runs that were going to be the exact same time of day and stuff like that. It would have been a ball ache. So I've just tried to make sure that the daytime's at the same time and nighttime at the same time. We are going to have a look at it at night. That is when the RT really does sort of shine a little bit. But both games look awesome. I mean, you're not really losing out on much if you play the legacy version, are you? I suppose so far as I'm looking at it, you're not really losing out on much. Having DLSS, yes, I mean, yes, the enhanced version here is running with DLSS quality to keep that frame rate up, but if it wasn't on, you'd still be getting 60 FPS, and it's a nice to have. Like, and if I'm honest with you, I didn't really see that much of a drop, a real drop in performance, in visuals, putting that on the enhanced version. Just gained some FPS, really. The only thing that it does do, and it only really shows up in one place, and that is, there is a slight ghosting, you can probably see it on screen now, to the neon underglow light. That's the only place I ever see any ghosting of any kind from it, and it is sort of like there. You will see now, as we're coming up on the legacy one, I'm about to get blown up, and we'll be able to look at that properly as I open up and wait for the spot worker. Let me run.
Wow! What is wrong with fucking people, man? Like, straight up, what is fucking wrong with people?
Just let me finish ranting there. So, yeah, as you can see here, there is a ghost into the neon underglow light. For me, I just didn't care. But to those perfectionists and you AMD fanboys out there, look at that ghosting. Look at it. It's fucking terrible. Look at it. It's destroying the game, destroying every aspect of playing this game because of those 2 extra bars of neon ghosting behind the car. Look at it. Look at it. It's destroying the image, isn't it? Absolutely destroying it. DLSS. Total garbage. I mean, as we're coming into the evening now, I will say that I think that the skies look so much nicer on the enhanced version. I mean, don't get me wrong, there is nothing wrong with the skies in the legacy version, but there's just something about them. You'll see what I mean. You get such pops of yellow and orange, even more so from the original game. Also, even though there is that ghosting, I feel that the neon glow, the actual glow that's happening, looks a little bit more sort of natural, more of a sort of softer, like it's actually happening from light, rather than the other side just looks like there's a glowy bar been stuck to the ground underneath. But the neons look awesome on the legacy version anyway, so it's like enhanced. And I'll be honest with you, the neon glow from on the enhanced version, that is one place where it shines. Other than that, also coming up here, you'll see me swirling around in the grass here. I will say that I felt like it was thicker, and fuller on the enhanced version, but that could be a completely placebo effect happening right there. We're gonna go have a look at some inside on foot footage. We're going to go have a look in the club right now, so we're just going to go pull up in here. But as I said, I find that the neon glow, underglow, is where the RT shines, which you will see later after we've been around the club, because I've crashed looking at this particular aspect of the RT quite a few times. I do it in this video as well. I can't help myself. But anyways, let's just hop into my club here. Like I said, there's a slight change to the lighting and the way that it bounces off stuff and things like. But other than that, it's pretty on par, to be fair. I didn't realise that the character's sort of like to one side in this shot, like not in the middle of the screen, but never mind. As you can see, the frame rates in here are pretty much on par with each other, really. But again, the visuals of it, the improvements in visuals are very slight, and you've got to. It's more of an atmospheric thing, I suppose. Like, but from playing it, it's a little, the lights are a little bit more glowy. Things bounce off a bit more. Sorry, it's getting a bit cold in here. 1 second. Hear myself getting a bit granny in my voice. Right. Yeah. They're pretty much on par with each other in the club. There is certain aspects. Some of the show here because it's on the wrong side of the screen. But basically, stuff like you know, like thingies, glowy shoes. They look in a fair bit enhanced over on that side. We're gonna come back out. The club now, and it should be getting a bit darker outside. Well, I know it's getting a bit darker outside. Should make dealing with the light a little bit easier. Show off the artiness. This will be where the evening skies will show up, and you'll be able to see what's going on. This is kind of a little bit frustrating. But as I said, the underglow looks a lot more natural on the enhanced version. And look at that sky. I mean, just look at that sky. Like it looks awesome. With all the yellows and oranges. Like, don't get me wrong, the sky looks awesome on the original, but it looks pretty cool here, man. It looks pretty cool here. Inside the customs garage now. As you can see, some lights just aren't there because they're not needed. More sort of a natural lighting. But as we come out of here, I completely forgot which way I went and went the other way. And this is where the routes completely split off and go in different directions. That's not really too much of a matter. I want to, as I said, we're getting into the darker. It's getting darker now, so you'll be able to see that sort of glow on the underside on the enhanced version. Oh, it looks so good. It looks so good. It to the point where when you go over like paint markings in the road, you know, like white paint markings or the yellow paint markings and stuff, it literally shows up in the reflections on the underside of the car. That's the bit that I keep basically ending up crashing because I'm too busy looking at how cool the reflections under the cars look. I don't know whether you can see on the top off axis, but I've opened up now, like, so you can have a better look at what's going on with the reflections underneath the car, because they just look so good. And you know, you just don't get that over on the legacy side. You just don't get it. It's not there. Not that I think that the legacy side looks crap. I mean, you get reflections on the wheels, and I think a little underside of the exhaust, but other than that, no. That particular aspect looks so much better on the enhanced version. So much better. So yeah, guys, I mean, as you can see, as we're going into the evening, you're getting a different array of light, and the games definitely handle it. Again, they're not exact same times of day. I would say that the Legacy is definitely ahead by an hour or two. So it's getting darker sooner. But even so, I mean, when it comes to nighttime, it's that under. Look, Rockstar knew what they were doing, throwing those RT reflections on the underside of the car. It looks freaking awesome. It really looks freaking awesome. But again, the games perform really, really well. I'm sure that the enhanced version will come with with a few optimizations, fairly sharpish after release. We're used to that these days, but as you can see on both frame times, they are flat as a pancake for the most part. There's a little bit noisier on the enhanced version, but you know, it's doing other stuff. It's ray tracing and that. The latency is a little higher on that side as well, but either way, we're getting very similar frame rates, and obviously they need to sort out some sort of optimization, because my God, shouldn't be getting voltage limited like 50 watts before it's up, and that's a vanilla clock. There's no overclock from me or anything. That's a vanilla clock. It is using a whole lot more memory over on the enhanced version for that RT, like an extra 3 gigabytes of memory to get this out. But I think we're going to finish up on just the enhanced side, and yeah, guys. You can see that ghost is starting to appear on the neons. You see they do something to try and prevent it. Oh, it's the red lights from the backlight. That's okay. Yeah, I think the game looks friggin' awesome both ways. To be honest, I think the legacy version holds up really, really well. Look at that moon; it looks cool. The skies look awesome on this enhanced version though. Not that the skies look crap in the legacy version, they looked awesome. I've never had more than this to mess around with a jet. I think the games are freaking awesome. I'm obviously looking forward to GTA 6. But yeah, this is a nice little touch. It's surprisingly free from Rockstar. Surprisingly free, but it's a nice little touch. Oh, can you see those reflections? Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my gaff. I'm going to go get the F40 because it's far more shiny, and you'll probably see. I crash in this footage, but you'll probably see it a little bit more pronounced, the under reflections, but they look so good. It will also point out the noisy off-axis reflections, because of I'm still putting it down to the fact that I've only got 26. I've only got 26 Gen 2 cores, RT cores, so I'm going to put it down to that. But I'll have to wait until I see footage of it on something crazy, and then maybe I'll know different. But no, we'll get in the F40. No. Yeah. Get in the F40. It's nicely shiny, and it can show off that underglow, and just the road. Look at it. You see the fucking road. It looks so good. Like, just in the corner of your eye, it just looks so good. And then when you're going over like main roads, as I said, like painted lines and stuff on the road, like the RT reflections under the car just look awesome. I mean, don't get me wrong, this is a fucking superficial thing to want or desire after, or just like, or even like commend a game for. It's an extremely superficial thing to do that with. But come on, it looks fucking awesome. The underglow looks so good. I'm always crashing because I'm literally looking to watch the white lines and stuff flash through on the reflection underneath. Right, one last little show to show off that underglow. Oh, look at it. The underglow looks so good on this version. Right, anyways guys, I've been Trip Boomer. This has been GTA 5, and if you like this sort of content and you want to see more, give us a shout in the comments down below. Let me know how you're getting on with the game, what you're playing on, how it's playing on your hardware. I want to hear it all. So yeah, jump down in the comments and let me know, and I will see you in the next one, guys. Love you, bye.
YouTube, like and subscribe. Thank you.